Hi guys, welcome back to Idrissa show. My name is Idrissa, and if it's your first time in this channel I talk about Africa and African stories in all aspects, because I believe that no one can tell our stories better than ourselves. Remember one thing to do: please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Yeah, so today I know it has been so long and we haven't been making videos. There are a lot of things that have been happening around, and I thought also to show you, because those are trending things in Africa, and being Africans, we can't run away from what's happening in our continent. Yeah, come on, we can't run away from that, and especially in our countries. So that's why I've decided to show you a few things that's happening, especially in Zambia. Today I want us to talk few things, what we think is our problem and what is our problem. Because if you go to social media, you go to YouTube or you go to Google, you find that they've spoken more of Africa being poor, but not of Africa. What's the real problem of Africa? What has made Africa to be poor when Africa is not poor? You know, in reality, in terms of resources and everything, Africa is not a poor continent. None of African country is poor in terms of resources, but if you go in the ground, you go around the country, you'll find the signs of poverty. That's why it makes more of people to say that Africa is poor when Africa is not poor. So today, let's talk about what is real our problem. What is our problem? Our problems is not poverty. Our problems is, number one, it's corruption. You know, we cannot develop this continent with corruptions, with corrupted people. We cannot develop Africa because of corruptions. I'll give you an example. In Congo, the budget of Congo is less than 4 billion US dollars. But you know what? There's a report that came out a few days ago in Congo showing that the government of Congo losing up to 8 billion US dollars just on corruptions. People do not want to do straight things. People do want to do things quickly. They want, if I go to this office, I have to get these things quickly. I have to give this one money. I have to give that one money. And the result, the government of Congo has lost 8 billion US dollars. So can you imagine? The government, Congolese budget is 4 billion US dollars, but Congo is losing 8 billion dollars. So imagine if all those money was in the coffer of the government, it was in the coffer of the government, what they can do. Don't you think that they can do a lot of things with that money? Yes, they can do a lot of things, so many things with that money. But you'll find that people who are stealing the money in Congo are not strangers, are not foreigners, are Congolese. So when we talk about corruptions, we should always know that the people that are making those corruptions are ourselves. We can't blame others on what we are doing. No. Corruption has killed Africa. Corruption has destroyed Africa. The reason why Africa is seen as a poor continent, it's because of corruptions. We have so many corrupted people, and sometimes corruption has become normal in Africa, which is really sad. Many things, you go to these offices, you go to meet this person, and they're telling you, no, before I do this for you, I'll do this for you, and maybe give me $1, give me $1 or $2, or give me $3. Do you know that that's corruption? That's corruption. But because it has become normal, you know that when I go to these offices, I go and visit this one, I go to this place. For us, sometimes we even calling it okay, it's just a drink. No, that's corruption. You're corrupting someone to give you something, or even the person is asking you. Because if you are in the government offices and that's your job, or you're in offices you're working, that's your job. If for you to give me or for you to provide me services, and I have to pay you an extra money contrary to the money that I'm supposed to pay, that's corruption. At the same time, we want this continent to develop. At the same time, we are the one who are doing corruptions everywhere. So if you are doing corruption, don't say Africa has to develop, because you amongst the people are making this continent to not develop. Where are we going, Africans? If we want to change this continent, let's change our behavior. And for our government, people are leading us. Be example. Show the examples. Don't be the corrupted one and arresting corruptions. You can't be the corrupted and regulating corruptions. No. You have to be out of corruption for you to regulate corruptions. So how can we stop corruptions in Africa? I think this week it requires me and you to work together to stop it. You are watching me. If you're corrupted, stop. That's the way. It starts with you and I. We have to stop. Get things the way it's supposed to be. If you go to the offices, then they're telling you, you have to pay $10, you have to pay this, and you have to pay that for you to get this. Well, you've already paid the required amount of money, then it's corruption. Then this is corruption. Then I don't want to participate in corruption. Don't pay. And I know what happens most of the time. Like, I'll give examples too of Congo because I'm a Congolese, and I know what happens. I remember last time, the first time I got my passport in Congo. Passport then, because Congolese passport is the most expensive passport in Africa. Then passport was around $150. And I know when I went to get the passport, they're even telling me, no, this is the price of the passport. If you want to collect your passport so quickly or within a few days, you have to give $30. If you don't pay that $30, you can even collect your passport after 30 days, after 60 days, some even after 3 months, after 3 months, 4 months. A passport supposed to come out after 3. Normally, the passport supposed to come out, you're supposed to receive your passport within 5 days. But you know what happened? If you go to those institutions and you only pay $150, which now passport in Congo is not $100, and the people are still complaining because if you pay that $100, you are not going to get your passport there and then. You have to wait for your passport, and it's going to take long because they are servicing first people they have corrupted before they give people they have given normally money. So if you pay $100, like right now, if you pay $100 in Congo for a passport, forget about when you're going to get that passport. So if you pay an extra money, meaning the extra money that you've paid is for that person. So you find that the extra money that we are paying is the money that those guys, they are running around in the offices to make your passport to be signed first. So how many of people they've paid those $20, $30, some $50, and extra money? Those are corruptions. So you see that it has become so normal in a way that you can't understand. Okay, you can't know if it's corruption, because if someone tells you what you're doing is corruption and they arrest you, you'll say, how? Because I've just given him because he told me this. That's corruption. But at the same times, we can't also blame those people that are giving money because they know the structure, they know the system. They know the system. I paid money before to get my passport quickly. I know that. I paid money before, and I've been told before that if you don't pay this money, forget about that passport. But when the government put the price is this, why should we put an extra money for you as a government worker to give us a service? Because that's your work, that's your job, that's the reason why you're in that office, that's why they pay you. So why should we pay an extra money? You are working in a certain institution, and when you're working there, for you to give people their services, they have to pay the money required, and they have to pay you an extra money for you to do their services when you get the salary. So what the reason of your salary? Then let's stop paying you salaries and let us giving you the tips. Those are not tips. Those are corruptions. Those are corruptions, and it's punishable. I think we Africans, if you go to the office, listen to this strategy. If you go somewhere, someone tells you, no, before you do this, before I do this service for you, you have to pay money. Despite you paying the initial amount of money that's supposed to be paid for that services, remember to, I don't know, if it's to capture the photos or just make sure that you get something. Let's begin to denounce those attitude and character in Africa. Those people, you know them. I don't want to mention their names. I don't want to mention where they are found. But I know in each country where you're watching me, you have these kind of things everywhere. I experienced in my country. I don't know how they experience in your country, but I know in Congo, as I'm talking now, No Congolese will deny what I'm talking about now, because that's what happened. You find that we make some money and you have to give an extra money. You have to give maybe an extra the services. Maybe they say, okay, you're going to get a passport and you're paying $300. Like last time, pay $300, and they're telling you, no, for you to get this passport within 5 days, you have to give me another $20 so that I'll give the boss there to sign for you quickly. What's the job of the boss for them to sign? Why do I have to pay the boss for them to sign? It's their job. That's the reason why they are there. That's the reason why they were employed to work. Why do we have to pay them? So you see that most of those things, and us, we are contributing. That's corruption indirectly. We'll say, no, I'm not. You will say you are not corrupted, but when you go to certain offices, we give them money, because at the same time, our reasons, the reason why we pay those people, maybe because I want to get my thing fast. I want to pay this so that I can get my thing fast quickly, because I know if I don't pay them, they will delay it on it. But when we are doing that, we are still encouraging corruption to continue. So we should stop on that. And if we stop, if all of us, we decided to stop, or we decided to start denouncing those people all the time, when you meet such kind of situation, make sure that you have a record. Now we have phones. Record those conversations with the person. Record it. After record it, just and denounce them. Record those conversations. We have phones now. We have phones. So record those problems. You know, you meet someone, you talk to them about something, and they want to ask you money, or they want you to do this. Just record those conversations. Let's begin to do that. Let's start from there. Let's record their conversation. They're asking for your money. Just get your phone. Pretend as if you are trying to talk to someone on WhatsApp or whatever. Just click on record. Record the conversation between you and them. Then you can be able to have some proof. I think let's start from there, and let's stop corruption in Africa, because that's the way we can transform this continent. With corruption, Africa will go nowhere. Congo, with 4 billion as a budget, but they are losing 8 billions in corruption. That's so sad. That's so sad. So look at Congo the way it is. You'll say that Congo is poor, but Congolese are managing to steal 8 billion from their government or from the people. And the people, they're only having a 4. In the government, they only have 4 billions. But people, they're able to steal 8 billions. It's so sad. So let's work on stopping corruption in Africa. And I know it's a work of you and me. And let's start from there. The second point I want to talk about is ghost workers. Yeah. Have you been a ghost worker before? I'm sorry, but it's not alright, my brother, my friends. It's not right, my sister. Yeah, it's not alright. I'm not getting example from any other country. I'm getting example from my country. Yeah. So you relate the story to your country, because I've heard that story also happening around now in Zambia, where they found some ghost worker in a certain company. I don't want to mention the name. You know it. In Congo, I think 2 months or 3 months ago, some months ago, the president of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, traveled to Goma, a place called Goma, is the eastern part of Congo, which the same town, they share the border on that town with Rwanda. The president went there for some working days and check, because that area has been affected with war for over 20 years. The president reached there just to find that the number of the soldiers that have told him they are there is not that number. I don't know. I don't even think if it's a half that the number. It's a half numbers of what they've told him. He was really upset. So meaning the government has been paying, sending guns, sending uniforms, sending money to that number that the president knew. Well, there in Goma, the soldiers, the number of the soldiers which is there is not even closer to the number that the president knows about. So can you imagine thousands of ghost workers in the army, not even not just in the normal organization, no, in the army. So they're even supplying guns to the ghost workers. And how do we expect Congolese war to finish when the general is a general in the army, is the one who's employed the ghost worker? That's why sometimes you sit yourself, start beginning to think, you say, okay, how did Congo, that war has taken 20 years, it's not finishing, and who was sponsoring those people? We have discovered that the people that are sponsoring the war is the Congolese themselves. People in forefront sponsoring the war in Congo, in Eastern Congo, are Congolese. Are Congolese. I'm sorry, but we are the ones sponsoring the war in Congo. Can you imagine giving guns to 1,000 ghost army soldiers? And where are those 1,000 armies guns gone? It goes where? So meaning that if it's, because I don't know the number, because they haven't given the number, but you know the army it's over thousands of numbers of people. So meaning those thousands guns for the ghost soldiers is the same guns that those guys use to sell or to give to those people they are fighting them. Imagine you are fighting the rebel and you are supplying them with guns. You are fighting the rebels, you are supplying them with guns. That's why you can sometimes in Congo, in that same place of war, they will find that they kill a rebel, they find them with a Congolese army uniform. They get surprised, how come this person has a uniform? But when you count those people on another side, they don't have a shortage. So meaning the extra is from the ghost soldiers. So meaning even the salary, the government is losing the salary. At the same time, the government is giving the guns to the ghost soldiers, paying the salary to the ghost soldiers, giving a guns to the ghost soldiers, and all other benefits. So those who are those getting it, they are generals. The generals from the Congolese army with his people. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, if we say it's not the general, I don't know. Because if you're the general, I believe that he's supposed to know the number of soldiers, and he must be sure that those soldiers, they are not ghosts, they are soldiers. So can you imagine the president of Congo just going to the war site and find that they told him we have 20,000 soldiers there, and they reach there only find they have 9,000. 11,000 are ghosts. Where are those guns for those 11,000? The Congolese army, the Congolese government has spent money buying guns for 20,000 soldiers, but they only have 9,000 soldiers. Where are the 11,000 guns? Where is it gone? Where are the 11,000 uniforms? Where it has gone? Nowhere. Who's responsible? Congolese. So meaning in that war, people are sponsoring that war are Congolese. In Congo, people are crying peace, 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 peace. We want peace, we want peace. But at the same time, in that same site in Eastern Congo, we are crying peace. At the same time, they are the same people who are working there. People are believing that they are there to bring peace. Or some even they are working just reasonably to bring peace in the country. While others, they are there to sell guns, to supply guns to the rebels. Why are you doing that? So you see the reason why we think Africa is poor. Africa is not poor. We are the one, we are poor mentally. There's no patriotism in Africa. We don't have that patriotism. You don't love your country. You don't love your people. We always say, I love Africa. We always say, I love my country. I love Congo. I love Zambia. I love Zimbabwe. I love Nigeria. But when we put you in front there to do something, you will show us that you don't love the country. Love is not by mentioning just I love the country. No, you should show it the way you present your country, the way you work. Today you are just there because you are MP, you are screaming, no, I'm going to do this, I'm a good person. When you make you a president, everything, forget about this, you change totally. People in the government, they are government workers, or people that are working in the government institution, or people that are working everywhere. All of us, we are Africans. There's no difference. But look at what we are doing to this continent. Look at what we are doing to this continent. We are the one who make this continent to be called poor from other side. We are the one. They are calling us poor because we show them that we are poor. With our begging hands, we are begging where we have. Why? Because we are unable to transform what we have. And where we are begging, even the money that they give us for funds, the money that they give us from abroad, we still use that money. People, they still continue to you hear down the person, oh no, and the money. Tell me, how did your country use the money for the funds for the COVID relief? In my country, we don't even know where the money has gone. We don't know. We don't know where the money has gone. We don't know what they've done with it. Not even a mask for free. They force people to buy masks, and on top of that, they make them to pay if they don't find you with mask. Why are we making people to suffer in their own home country? And on top of that, even as a people, we are contributing by doing corruptions, by being ghost. You've been getting salary and you don't work. They're in a certain public institution where their name is mentioned there, where they get salaries, but the person has never attended work. They only goes once in a week to sign, and they will never go for work. They don't know, they don't have any qualification to allow them to work in that place, but they get salaries. So, how can we change this continent when there's corruption, when we still have ghost workers who are eating the money of the government? People are supposed to work, they are not working. You are not supposed not to work there, you're working there. Let's change this continent. And the change can only come if me and you, we decide to change Africa. So, here's my advice to all Africans. The matter of this continent, it's not one person matter, or no, let's give it to the president or the government to treat it. No, the matter of Africa, it's the matter for all Africans. And I don't want, or no, like we have supervisor. I don't want supervisors, because Africa is Africa, and if there's anything supposed to happen in Africa, and has to be supervised by Africans, not a third party to come and supervise us or telling us what to do. Because if me, just Africans, I'm telling you about corruption, you'll be there looking at me, okay, what doesn't know. But if someone else comes and start telling you about no corruption, since it's a third party, then you will get it and start putting it everywhere on social media. But since it's just an African like me who telling you about this, you'll say, okay, what does he know about this? No, we know. We go around, we go to this institution, we meet people who are corrupted minded, we know them. But I think it's time to stop with corruption. This is the time. We all want Africa to change, but we're all in corruption. We all want Africa to change, we're all in corruption. So, how can we change Africa? If you don't decide, if I don't decide to stop corruption. Let's stop corruption today for a better future for Africa. Because we can only change Africa if we say stop to corruption. And I believe that Africa is a great continent, because it is. And I always say Africa is not poor, because I know Africa is not poor, and Africa has never been poor. But it's our conduct, our attitude, our practice is what makes others call us poor, where we are not poor. From today, let's begin to denounce all those corrupted people. And please, governments of countries, help us to get off those people from the position that you put them, and they are busy getting money, eating money from people. Because corruption, it will only kill this continent. It will not take us anywhere. It will not take us anywhere. Let's end corruption in Africa. And that can only begin if you and I stood today and decide to change this. Yeah. So it was a quick thought. I wanted just to share with you today. So please share this video. I want to know how things happens in your country. I've told you what's happening in my country. and I want to know how things happens in your country. Mention the name of your country and say what's happening in your country, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it and let's end it. Let's talk about it and let's see what's the solution for the way forward to hand this. Remember, no one can tell our stories better than ourselves. I'm Idrissa. So, ciao. See you tomorrow. Bye.